All right, so today we're diving into something pretty interesting, this piece called Divine Inspiration.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, it's from innerway.com.o, written by Shawn Wondunna-Foley. It's dated March 11th, 2025. And what really struck me is how it's written directly to the reader. Like it's speaking right to you, the listener.
I get that. It's like it wants to pull you in and have a personal conversation.
Right. And the main idea, the core of it all, is this concept of divine inspiration. But not just as some vague, mystical thing, more like how it can show up unexpectedly in your life.
Yeah, like a sudden realization, a chance encounter, an unexpected opportunity, something that really shakes things up.
Exactly. And not just a fleeting moment, but like a real catalyst for positive change, like a real opportunity to shift your perspective, elevate your life.
I think that's what makes this piece so compelling. It's not just about having nice thoughts.
Right. It's about tangible shifts.
Exactly, tangible shifts. Like the author specifically mentions things like finding more love in your life, experiencing more of those meant-to-be moments.
The synchronicities.
Yeah, the synchronicities, building stronger, more supportive relationships. It even touches on prosperity and freedom.
In a sense of abundance.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big picture.
It is. And that's kind of our mission today, I think.
Our deep dive.
Exactly. To unpack what it really means to be open to this kind of guidance. Because, if this stuff is out there, if this divine inspiration is real.
How do we tap into it?
Exactly. How do we even recognize it when it shows up?
Right, because it might not always come with like a flashing neon sign, you know?
For sure. Okay, so the piece starts off talking about this idea of transformation, right?
Yeah, it basically says that being receptive to divine inspiration, really allowing it in, can lead to some pretty major shifts in your life, like a fundamental shift in how you experience things. It's talking about moving from a place of, just getting by, going through the motions, to a place of deep contentment and joy. Maybe even, like the author says, everlasting joy.
Wow, everlasting joy. That's a powerful image.
It is, right. And the way the author describes this potential transformation is really beautiful. There's this whole section about experiencing beautiful sunrises and sunsets in a new light.
Oh, I remember that part.
And it's not just about literally seeing them differently, but appreciating those everyday wonders with a newfound sense of awe, like those moments of awe that we can so easily miss when we're caught up in the daily grind.
And the source emphasizes, I think, that this isn't just about, having a more positive attitude. It's about tapping into something much deeper.
Exactly. And that each day, each new day, becomes an opportunity for growth, for deeper love, for more meaningful connections with the people in our lives.
It really does paint a picture of a much richer, more vibrant existence.
It does. And this part stuck out to me. It's almost like the piece is suggesting that the universe itself conspires, aligns to bring us experiences that are in our best interests.
Serving our highest good.
Yeah, serving our highest good, even if we don't always immediately recognize it as such. Things might not always go according to plan, but maybe there's a reason for that.
That's a really interesting way to look at it. Because, let's be honest, how often do we get frustrated when things don't go our way?
Well, all the time. I know I do. But this piece is encouraging a shift in perspective, right? Instead of immediately labeling something as bad or unfortunate, what if we paused, even for a moment, and considered, is there a bigger picture here? Is there something valuable I can learn from this?
And that brings us to a point in the piece that I found really powerful.
Where it turns inward.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all about this journey of self-discovery, of uncovering your own inner strength, your own infinite potential.
Exactly. And the source emphasizes that this isn't about looking outside ourselves for answers, for some magical solution.
Right. It's not about relying on external things to make us happy.
Yeah. The power is within us, waiting to be tapped into.
And there's this incredibly powerful line in the source that says, when one taps into one's true essence, everything becomes possible.
I love that line.
I do too. It just hits you right between the eyes. And it really underscores this idea that when we connect with that core of who we truly are, all those perceived limitations, all those I can'ts and I'm not good enoughs start to dissolve.
It's like breaking free from those self-imposed chains.
Exactly. And the source even goes further, saying that this inner power, this ability to transform ourselves and our lives, it extends beyond just us. It can ripple outwards, influencing our communities, the world around us.
Like a chain reaction of positive change.
I love that. And so what we're left with is this idea that this capacity for healing, for manifestation, it's not some far-off, unattainable superpower. It's inherent to our very being.
It is, and the key, according to the source, is having the courage, the willingness to turn inwards and nurture that connection with our inner wisdom.
To trust that inner voice.
Absolutely. And that leads us to another key concept in the source material, this idea of you, the listener, as the spark.
Yes. The spark that ignites a passion for a new way of living, a new way of being in the world.
Such an empowering idea, right? To think of ourselves as the catalyst for change, not just in our own lives, but potentially for a wider collective shift. And the source describes this new way of life as one that's grounded in freedom, love, and authenticity.
And those are things that I think a lot of people are seeking,
Mm.
yearning for, right? To be truly free, to live with more love and compassion, and to just be unapologetically ourselves.
Totally. To strip away all the masks and pretenses and just show up as who we truly are at our core. And that's where things get really interesting. The source talks about this path forward not as some arduous uphill battle, but as a journey of self-expression, joy, and alignment with the universe.
It's like when you're truly in tune with your purpose, with that inner compass, the journey itself becomes more enjoyable, effortless even.
And the source specifically mentions this idea of following our inner calling. You know that quiet voice within? The intuition, the gut feeling?
Yeah, that sense of knowing.
Exactly. And the source suggests that by honoring that inner voice, we're actually tapping into a deeper truth about ourselves, about our connection to something bigger.
So it's not just about personal preference, it's about aligning with our true essence, our divine being.
I love that.
Yeah.
And this idea of alignment ties directly into the final key point in the source material, the importance of trusting the journey.
Yes. Embracing the present moment and having faith that this path towards greater freedom, greater love, greater authenticity is already unfolding.
And remember that empowering declaration, we are the creators of our reality.
It gives me chills every time I read it because it's not about denying the challenges, the external circumstances. It's about recognizing that we have the power to choose how we respond, how we perceive things, and that our inner state, our beliefs, our intentions actually shape our experiences.
It's like taking ownership of our lives, of our creative power.
Right. And the source ends with such a beautiful, uplifting message. It basically tells you you are already on the path to becoming the most spiritually evolved version of yourself.
It's such a hopeful, encouraging reminder, and it leaves you with this sense of possibility, of optimism, like anything is possible.
It does. So just to recap for our listeners, the divine inspiration piece highlights three key takeaways, I think.
Yeah, three big ones.
First, that amazing positive transformations are possible in your life. Second, that you have so much more power than you realize, and it all starts with looking inwards, connecting with your true self. And finally, that you have an active role in shaping your reality through your beliefs, your intentions, your focus.
It's empowering stuff, for sure.
It is. And so as we wrap up our deep dive today, a final question for you to ponder, for all of us to ponder. How might we intentionally cultivate more openness in our lives? Openness to those unexpected moments, those subtle intuitive nudges, those flashes of insight, because maybe, just maybe, the key to unlocking that life full of love, synchronicities, supportive relationships, prosperity, freedom, and abundance that the source describes is hidden in those quiet whispers, those seemingly insignificant moments.
It's definitely something to think about.
It is. So, until next time, keep those ears and those hearts wide open.
You got it.